they're being disdainful, but they're actually watching.
Hoping Alan's coming because he's going to tell us all about Mars.
What are we looking at there, Mark?
At Mars.
No, I meant on the surface of Mars.
Give me a second, I'll tell you.
I knew you were going to say that as soon as I opened my mouth.
I'm just launching it on YouTube. Give me a second. And once that's going, I'll have a look at what.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. We're live on YouTube. Okay, what we're looking at. Let me find out for you.
Because there's a sort of lighter area there, isn't there? I can just see something coming into view here. Yeah, see that lighter area there?
No, I can see next to me like a dark band up in the middle. On one side is darker than the other.
Yeah.
You can see the South Polar Cap around about 7 o'clock on the moon. You see on the planet, just about.
Okay.
Round about there, white little patch.
Was the South Polar Cap not reversed in your other images?
It is. I normally turn it the other way up because that's how people normally expect to see it. But
okay.
My telescope's putting it the right. It depends on the camera orientation.
And
it's putting it the right way up at the moment.
It's not as brilliant white as it was.
No, it's actually shrinking as well. So can you see that? So turn that the other way up. So
yes.
Olympus Mons is around about there, but you might be able to see that if we process it. But we have Mare Chimerium along that side. It's really bad seeing tonight. It's the worst seeing we've had for a few days, actually. Been much better than that recently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it back to the center, and I'll take a video of it and then see if we can process something out of that. It's slightly, I think it's a passive cloud as well, sadly. Yeah, there's a bit of cloud around, but we'll give it a shot. To increase the gain a wee bit. But yeah, it's the worst night we've chosen for seeing recently, I think. So let's record a 3-minute video. It'll get a bit grainier while we do that.
So is this on your 10-inch scope?
It is 10-inch scope, yeah.
Using a Barlow, or?
It's got a 3 times Barlow, so we're talking about 3,600 millimeters focal length, so like a 3.5 meter long telescope, effectively.
Yeah.
And we're getting, well, it's slowing down a little. We're getting around about 90 to 100 frames a second. So we're trying to capture those brief moments of good seeing, and we'll try and process them out after we've done this. So here's the recording happening, about 133 seconds left to go.
So roughly how much dimmer is the image being made because of the 3 times Barlow? Is it dimming the image quite severely or not?
Not a huge amount. No, it is definitely doing it, but it's not drastic. I mean, I can probably get 120 frames a second without the Barlow, and I can normally get about 100 frames a second with the Barlow. So, yeah, not much difference really.
Yeah.
But yeah, sadly it is pretty grainy tonight. We do have one person watching on YouTube, but the quality on YouTube sadly is not as good as it is on Zoom for us.
Yeah.
Apologies, people on YouTube. We will keep trying through the next month when Mars is close to the Earth, because it won't be as good as this for the next 15 years. We'll maybe do a couple more of these to try and get a night of better seeing.
We'll reconvene in 15 years then.
Something like that. It'll be you doing it then, Nigel. Okay.
Yes, some of you might be able to do it in 15 years.
Oh, don't be negative, Peter.
You've got an extra zing in your set. Right, there's 30 seconds left of the video. Mike, you were asking questions about fire capture. Have you got it sorted now?
Perhaps. I was at least getting something in the screen earlier on, so that's pretty useful.
Yeah. Importantly, have that box checked there for the debayering, so you can actually see it in colour. The histogram down here gives you I tend to have it run about 70, 60, 70, 80%. So I adjust the exposure and the gain to get that. So I just, sorry?
Yeah, I was going to say about 70% is what I had read as well. Obviously, there are three colours there, different percentage levels. Is it the red that I need to get around about 70%?
I would average that. Obviously, it's mostly red anyway because it's Mars, and Mars is red, so red's going to be a bit higher.
Okay.
Yeah, I've also got gamma set here. You don't have to set that, but it's actually quite useful because of viewing this live now. You can actually see the contrast a little bit better. Mars is still quite low, actually. Give it another half hour and it'll be higher and better seeing, hopefully. Right, that's the actual video completed now. So I will launch auto-stack it. Keep looking at this while we're at it. And find the video. So that's the video we've just taken, a .ser file, and it's only 7.5 gigabytes. So that means we've lost a lot of frames. It's not as good as I'd hoped for some reason. It's probably because of all the things that are running on my laptop, the Zoom meeting and WhatsApp and so on, taking up a lot of resources. So it's not writing the disk fast enough, but we'll get a shot, see what comes out of it, and then drag it. There we go. So there's the planet. We'll put an AP grid around it, a grid, so that'll help it to stack it. Then we choose planet over here. I increase the noise robustness to 8. It makes a difference. I can't quite remember why I do that, but it does seem to make a difference.
Would you do that on Saturn and Jupiter as well?
I haven't done them for a while, so I can't remember. But okay. No, I think it's because Mars possibly at the moment. But
right.
Find out. So I'm going to analyze it now. This will take a few minutes. It's going to go through all the frames, and it's going to pick out the good frames and sort them into the right order, I think. And then at the end of that, we'll go through the process of stacking, maybe just 5% because it's not a great night of seeing, so we don't want to be stacking too many bad frames. We'll just leave that running there at the moment. This is full screen for Mars on a 3.5 meter focal length with a 3-time bar on it. So it doesn't quite fill the field of view, nothing close. But it is really a pretty poor night of seeing, I'm afraid. Just setting a region of interest, which will change the frame rate from 14 frames a second, hopefully to about 100 frames a second. And I'll go back to what we're actually seeing, if I can.
Mark?
Yep.
where is the debayer buttons? I don't see
here.
that.
There.
Sorry.
And you have to choose the appropriate pattern for your sensor. So this was an RG pattern, but it may be different for other sensors.
I'm just wondering if I've got a different release. I'm on fire capture 1.2.
I'm on 2.6, so yeah, you're well behind.
Well, that's normal. So presumably, I won't see a debayer button.
I have no idea. I can't remember what was happening at that stage.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, what we're seeing is that it's upside down. So we're seeing this band across here, Mara Chimerium and Mara Sarinum. And South Polar Cap is down here, it's inverted. And the other night I managed to process out an Olympus Mons and see that. I will process this and see if we can actually see it tonight. Though I suspect, given how bad the seeing is, we might struggle with that tonight. It's amazing what you can get out of such a fuzzy image, though, with the processing. This is it going, so it's about halfway through the analysis phase.
Right. He's putting through software called OptoStack.
Yeah, very clever piece of software to stack it.
How many frames altogether would be in that that total?
Well, it's 3 minutes, and I reckon it's probably average less than 100 frames a second. I reckon it's probably average about 70 frames a second, so 70 times 180, whatever that is.
Okay. I'll do that in my head.
Yeah, it's about 7 gig file anyway. Yeah, 7.5 gigabytes. Yeah, it will tell me in here what it actually is. So the diameter of Mars is 22.5 arc seconds, magnitude minus 2.6.
It's 12,788 frames.
Yeah. Frames captured 8,390 is what it says.
Right, it maybe dropped a few.
Yeah.
What percentage are you going to run it on, Mark?
I'm setting it to 5% frames to stack at the moment. Frames a second, it only averaged 46 actually, which is not very good. And that's because I'm running so many things on the laptop. I think Zoom is taking out a lot of stuff, so it won't be getting a lot of good quality, unfortunately. But we'll see how it goes.
So the software itself is deciding of the 5% that you're asking it to stack.
No, I've told it that. No, I've told it that. I'm saying at the moment it's just going through the analysis phase to check them all out. So there we go. That's finished. I'm saying I've set that to 5% of the frames to stack. Normalize it to provide me a sharpened one as well. So as well as the normal stacked one, a sharpened one. Align the RGB colors sometimes because of the atmosphere and so on. The colors don't quite align, and you get a sort of colored glow around the edge. So that's quite useful. What I've got here is drizzle 1.5, so that will create me an image 1.5 times larger than the original, so it'll give me something bigger to work on. As you can see, the quality graph is pretty bad though, all down here. It's not great. It's got better at the end. So yeah, it is pretty poor seeing. So now we've set the grid around it, so it's going to use that as a stack point. And I'm going to say stack that now. This will be a bit quicker, hopefully.
Are you just as well to just have several reference points like that, the squares that you've put on?
Yeah, yeah. If you just have one, it's not enough. You need to have several that are wrapped around the different features on the planet. It'll do it automatically for you. But not just going for the general one where it puts up thousands of them. Well, you can choose the size of the frame, the squares you want. So you can set it to, I set it to 80 there, and that seems to work fairly well. We can have lots of small ones or a few big ones. It's up to you really. Try it out, trial and error, and see what works for you. Yeah.
I downloaded AutoStacker 3 as you suggested, and I now can't get it to pick up my fire capture files. It seems to save them very deep down and in the computer. I find it very difficult to extract them.
Now I go through the stacking process. It's picked out the appropriate ones, and then we should get a couple of images out of this very shortly. Just going to go check on what the sky is doing. There are a few clouds around there. The seeing is getting better as Mars gets higher up. So we'll keep going while it gets higher and see if it improves a lot. You can watch a fuzzy orange blob for as long as you like. There's a limit to how much you can watch right now.
Well, you can go and get a piece of your birthday cake, Mark.
No one made me a birthday cake, actually, Nigel.
Oh.
I had a very nice curry, though, and some nice wine, so that's good. The sky is getting brighter. You can see that the histogram's gone further to the right, so I can reduce the exposure a bit there. But I think that the bottleneck for capturing as many frames as you can is often the disk speed. This is an old laptop in my observatory. That's an old spinning hard disk rather than an SSD. So it can't write to that as fast as it could to an SSD. So we will drop a lot of those frames, I think. It tells you there how many frames it's capturing. Almost there, just a few seconds. That's it done. Okay, so now we will open Registax to try and sharpen that up. There's a lot of junk on my desktop. And here it's created a folder, 5% of frames, and these are the images that we've got. So I'm going to use the sharpened one in this case because it's pretty fuzzy night. Drag that in. That's our image. So we start sharpening that up now. Start dragging these across and see what effect it has. A lot of noise. Denoise that. It's a sort of trial and error, really. A bit more. I don't know if we're going to get Olympus Mons tonight or not. We will try. You see the polar cap coming out now, the south polar cap. Let's start to appear.
Yeah.
I've actually got a scheme here that I use, so this will set the wavelets to a preset set. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. That's much better. I'm actually going to rotate that, and then we can compare it with the map. There we go. So we bring the map in now. Olympus Mons should be about there. You can just about see it. It's like pale patch there. Don't you can see that?
Yeah.
So
Why is Olympus Mons paler than the surrounding area?
why is Olympus Mons paler than the surrounding area, Nigel?
I
don't know. It's a volcano. It's different surface. It's the tallest, the highest one in the solar system. So it's 21 kilometers high. That's twice the size of Everest or something.
Wow.
Let's see if we can bring it out a bit more, sharpen things up.
I suppose it could be just because of its height, could it? Because
I suppose so, yeah. And the material
Possibly,
it's made of. I'm not an expert in Martian geology, I have to say.
we'll have to find a Martian then.
Yeah, we do.
They live among us, Peter.
I've always thought that.
Drat, that's my cover blown.
See if this will make a difference.
I shall have to peel the face off next.
I thought Ming came from another planet.
You be careful, you.
See if we can adjust this a wee bit.
It'll be Pharaoh the Merciless next.
You haven't heard the good news yet, Nigel.
No, that's not helping us that. It really isn't a very good night. That's very soft. So you can adjust it a bit more.
I'm going to leave you to the experts.
There, it's standing out a little bit more now, Olympus Mons.
See the polar cap crown, quite nice thing. What's left of it.
You can keep dragging these sliders around until you get the image that you want. It's a bit noisy.
Nice sharp edge to the disc. Yeah.
That's not natural, though, I don't think, is it?
Right. Okay.
Good how fuzzy it is tonight. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Seems to be struggling to. So that's what we're seeing from there.
Yeah.
Lighter patch there is Eridania, something, not sure.
You can see Olympus Mons quite clearly now, Mark.
You can, yeah, just about there, yeah.
Yes.
But there's no way you could see that on the live image. If we go back to the live image, because of the. It is getting better, though, it has to be said. It's definitely sharper than it was, but still pretty fuzzy. We'll try another live stream later on in the week, maybe when it's better seeing. But the jet stream is fairly raging overhead at the moment, and that's the thing that makes a difference in the atmosphere, makes it unsteady, or it's certainly an indicator that it might be bad seeing.
Yeah, we've got quite high winds forecast for tomorrow, certainly. It calms down on Sunday, but tomorrow is going to be quite from the northwest, very strong winds.
Yeah, I think that's getting fainter. I think there's a few wispy clouds around. It's definitely sharper.
Yeah, it's just disappearing.
I think they're just passing. It will go very shortly. Well, if you remember your homework from the imaging and observing group was to do some Mars, so I suppose this sort of counts.
Just a quick question, Mark. If I have a trial run using the dummy cam, will I be able to do the processing through AutoStacker as well?
Yeah, I think you can save the image, I think.
So just to, yeah, okay.
Just for those who are interested, this is how I'm controlling the telescope through something called EQ mod. These are all the coordinates. I've got controls here to send it up and down, back and forward, change the rates and so on. It's on sidereal rate at the moment.
Does EQ mod work fine with Celestron? I suppose it will do.
There are only certain models of telescope it will work with, mostly Skywatchers, but as Celestron is the same company, it's possible they might. I can't give you an answer on that one. If you go to the website, it will tell you the list of compatible telescopes. It's about the driver for motor board, I think, motor board, whether it's compatible or not.
All right.
That improving, and I'll try changing the focus as well.
Definitely bouncing around a wee bit.
It certainly is, isn't it? I'm getting darker again. Clouds are definitely coming over.
And the mount have you got, Peter?
It's CPC 800.
Don't think so, no. I think that it needs to be a German equatorial mount for it to work.
All right, okay. No, it's an alt azimuth mount.
Yeah, no, the EQ5 one definitely will, or an EQ6, one or two other derivatives. Seeing's a bit better. If the clouds go away, I'll take another video and try one more shot.
Well, the first one was quite good. Certainly from my perspective, where I've not actually managed one this year at all.
Yeah. Well, to get Olympus Mons, I'm pleased with. I've never managed to get a solar system volcano before, so it'll patch.
All right. Yeah.
It's the first for me. Well, the other night I got it, but yeah. I'm sure there are better experts on Registacks than me. I just play around with it and hope for the best, really. Some people get amazing results out of it.
Well, I'm going to leave you guys and go back to sleep. So.
Okay.
Well done. Thanks, Mark. That was good.
Okay. You're welcome.
Good night.
Okay,
Good night, Peter.
Good night, Peter.
Sorry about the noise. That's the aeroplanes, and there's also tractors in the field right about me, still planting tonight in the darkness.
I can't actually hear them. So why didn't you use Registacks to process the video?
It's a lot harder, to be honest. AutoStack it, you just chuck it in and it just does it. Registacks, you have to do a lot more work yourself, I think. I used to do it in the past, but I find AutoStack it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find the need for PIP, the preprocessor. I've tried it on a number of occasions and never got anything very much noticeably better than just using AutoStack it. I think if you go to AutoStack it 3, it's noticeably better than AutoStack it 2. And at that point, you don't have the need for PIP, I don't think.
Right.
So AutoStack it straight into Registacks and then finish off in Photoshop or whatever else it is you use to finish with. But that's okay. For a fuzzy night, that's not too bad actually.
Yeah.
And it's pretty dry, as you can see. The clouds are coming over again.
Oh, that's better.
Increase exposure. If you increase the gain too much, you get just a fuzzy image. So I'm going to keep the gain down a little bit. So My laptop is overloaded with all the things running on it at the moment.
Okay.
Close WhatsApp down. I think the fact I'm trying to stream it to YouTube as well isn't helping.
Notice that you did 5% of the frames when you were processing it. When I did Saturn earlier this evening, I did 2 lots. I did 20% and 15%. Should I knock that back down to about 5% just because of how low it is in the sky and how bad the seeing is tonight?
You look at the graph that comes out after the analysis, really. It'll tell you how good it is. I'm not the best at interpreting that, but I think if it's bad seeing, then you're only going to get a few frames that are actually good. If it's good seeing, you'll get a lot more frames that are good. You can stack more. So tonight is, as you can see, it's pretty dire, and this is getting hammered at the moment. So
certainly the graph I got wasn't great, although I reckoned I could get 15 or 20% out of it. I'll maybe do it again.
Yeah.
And try less. Since I posted that picture up, I saw somebody posting up a Saturn picture on Facebook, and they were using pretty much the same equipment as me, and they had a good picture, whereas I had a fuzzy picture. So there's still an improvement to be done.
Yeah, it is right. It's all about the seeing, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that person was, but obviously it's relatively low in the sky for us. So
yeah.
Just remember, Mike, that comparison is the thief of joy.
Well,
absolutely.
But it gives me something to aim for, because that other photograph that I saw was a good Saturn.
Spoken like a true competitor.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Well
That's
said,
why I'm happy. That's why I'm happy with everything I take. I don't care. I'm the happy snapper.
As we said, they're your photons.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No one else has caught those photons. Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly.
When we were before you started, Mark, I picked up 1, 2, 3 open clusters and a couple of globulars, and finished with the wild duck, of course.
of course.
Yeah.
In the cherry sauce.
No, it wasn't. It was what was it? It was plum sauce.
Yeah.
Got to be quick with the wit here.
Especially at this time of night.
Well, I haven't had a wine.
That's where you're going wrong.
Well, I find that the wine tends to dribble out to the end of the bottle when I'm looking through it.
I'm afraid it's not any noticeably better than seeing. It's still pretty fuzzy. I'll try a bit more focusing. It's still pretty bad. There's no easy way of focusing either. There is a focusing aid in I can't remember where it is now, in fire capture, but it's not the most helpful, really.
Did you just use a Batonov mask on Mars?
I don't know, would it work on Mars?
No, it's still pretty small compared to well, it's similar to stars, I guess.
Yeah, the guy who wrote fire capture said he put this in for experimental reasons, and in reality, the human eye has developed over thousands of years, and it's much better at looking at the focus by looking at it than that his tool is. So,
right.
Sort of just changed his view on that. And, it's a wee bit better now. I'll give it another video and see if we can get something better out of it. I'll reduce the ROI, keep it in that, and get a higher frame rate as well. Try that. once you're recording, the frame rate that you're viewing drops to about 15 frames a second. So we're going to see it as a fuzzier Mars while we're doing that. I reckon 180 seconds you can cope with on Mars without it rotating too much. On Jupiter, you wouldn't do more than 90 seconds because it rotates so fast you would actually start blurring your features that way. Mars can cope with about 3 minutes, I think. But probably not much more than that because it does rotate around, about, as we discovered, about 24 hours, a bit more than 24 hours. It is okay to keep adjusting the settings during the video as well, because AutoStack will pick out the best ones when it does its analysis anyway, which is quite neat.
So are you just deciding on your various settings just by eye as to what's going on with the live view, or how are you deciding to?
Yeah, pretty much. As long as I keep the histogram in about the 60 to 80 range is what I tend to do. Then as the clouds are going in and out, if you get wispy cloud going over, it does actually ruin the seeing quite a lot, quite noticeably. As you can see, it's pretty fuzzy around the edge at the moment.
You're saving that as an SER?
SER video, yeah.
Right, okay. And you reckon that's better than AVI?
AVIs could be compressed, SERs aren't.
Right.
I don't know if all AVIs are compressed, but some of them can be. So okay. SER is certainly safer, I think. You're disappearing into your M33, Ian.
Sorry?
You're disappearing into your M33.
Oh, right. Didn't quite get what you meant the first time. Yeah, lost in space.
Yeah. What were the issues you were having with fire capture, Mike?
More often than not, just not getting something on the screen. But what happened to me earlier this evening was I was getting Saturn and Jupiter fine, and then when they crossed the meridian, I then, having been on Saturn, I then went to Jupiter, which was across the meridian, and again there was nothing there. So I'm assuming it just wasn't in the image. I was going to leave everything up and go for Mars later once it popped itself over the top of the house, but I think I couldn't be bothered resetting everything.
Yeah,
got it all back in again.
I'm just going to save this one before we move on to the processing the other one. There you go. Right, so slow. Yeah, new computer out here. So we'll auto stack it again. And we should have a new video, which is this one here. So that's a few more frames, 8 gigabytes. So still struggling to get too many frames because of all the processing going on the computer. Analyze that. The clouds are finally gone. Sound like sharper to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can certainly see a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Alan joining us now.
Hello, folks.
Hi there.
Evening, Alan.
Alan.
Late to the party.
You've still got those clouds behind you.
Oh, it's clear here, yes.
looking a bit green.
Yeah. Congratulations, Ian, on your
Oh.
FRAS.
Thank you, Alan, and thank you for your sponsorship.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have worked otherwise.
You're very welcome.
What was that, Ian?
Oh, Alan sponsored me for a fellow of the RAS.
Oh, excellent. Well done.
So,
Well done.
thank you. The committee met today, and with Alan's sponsorship, I got elected.
Brilliant.
But I'm an engineer, not an astronomer. So
I mean, you have to go in the tradesman's entrance when
that's
you
right. Yeah,
leave there. Right. Okay.
yeah. Pull that lock of hair that keeps falling out.
I'm just processing your video, Alan.
Yeah, okay, I guess that.
The clouds are coming in and out, but yeah. We've done one already. We managed to catch Olympus Mons just about. So, if you have any snippets of information to tell us about what we're seeing, that'd be great.
I did put some slides together about Mars, but I'm not sure that I'll wait and see how things go before I
Okay, fine, yeah.
show them.
I think we might need to do another one when it's better seeing, because it's really pretty bad seeing tonight.
Was there an email about it?
About what, sorry?
Was there an email put out about the Mars night tonight? Or
Not tonight, no. I was planning to do it tomorrow night. That was when the forecast looked better, but last minute, basically it was clear, so I thought we'll give it a shot. That's all.
Yeah. Fine.
But I think we might try another one when it's maybe tomorrow or another time when it's clear.
Yeah.
It's not very clear at the moment. In fact, it's getting fainter. We'll try this video and then we'll probably stop if it's not doing well. So let the processing carry on. It's the laptop's struggling with all the things that are happening on here. Pulling teeth.
If that's the frame count in the bottom left, there's obviously a lot more frames in this one.
Yeah, yeah.
I've just had a look. The my version of Fire Capture only does AVI or BMP.
All right, so it is quite old. Get a new version, Hugh. So we've captured 19,000 frames this time.
Wow.
What was it last time?
8,000. 8,900 or something.
Yeah, we've got 105 frames a second. There we go. Hopefully we'll be better. I mean, the focal length should be 1200 times 3 with the Barlow, but it's showing a focal length of 4,350. So I don't know how it calculated that. But 22.5 arc seconds and minus 2.61 magnitude. Central meridian is 172. So we'll see if we can see Olympus Mons better this time. We've got 3 people watching us on YouTube.
Mm.
It was a last minute thing, so sorry. Take the clear skies when they come. Getting brighter again. You can still just about see the South Pole cap there.
There's no auto gain function on this.
Not on here, no. I think Sharpcat does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I
This
don't
one.
know how well it is. So.
No, the auto stuff. I don't use the auto stuff. I'll bring I've got a newer, older laptop to bring to the observatory soon, so things will move a bit faster next time.
should look like.
No, you can see a darker thing in the middle, can't you?
Well,
For some reason, this processing is much slower. Because it's quite a bit bigger file.
That might be a hopeful sign. It's got more to process, more information.
Yeah, yeah.
Mark, you mentioned something about the drizzle settings in AutoStack it earlier on. Does that just make the image bigger?
It does, yeah, 1.5 times.
Right.
It does it in a neat way, I think, that makes it better than just resizing it afterwards. But
Right.
can't tell you exactly how it does it.
Yeah. I'll maybe give that a go. I'll reprocess the Saturn one that I did earlier on. I think there's perhaps a bit of mileage in that if I do less, a lower percent, maybe 5 or 10%.
Yeah, well, if it's poor seeing, just take a smaller percent. I've gone down to 1 or 2% sometimes, and I've got a high frame rate, but the seeing's been bad. Then you just want the really good frames.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a 5-minute video, so there were plenty of frames in there.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of difference between doing 5% or 10% or even 20%, to be honest, if you're getting a lot of frames.
Yeah.
Getting high frame rates, yeah.
I'll go and get the laptop and I'll have a look at the information about it and see if I can see how many frames are in there. Let's go and grab that.
Almost there. That's good anyway.
that's on my iPad here. Just put it up.
Right, that's the analysis done. Now we have to do the stacking. Take a bit less time, hopefully. As you can see, the alignment part of it's quite important as it's jigging around all over the place. You want the individual frames to be aligned.
I can hear your tractors now.
That's not me, actually. I don't know who that is. It's not me,
Oh,
though.
right.
I think it's Nigel. There's noise coming from this. The cats, I think, they're snoring.
How could you tell? I was going to say it's amazing you can do all that and drive a tractor, Mark.
Watching a fuzzy orange blob for half an hour is not the most exciting of things, I have to admit.
That Saturn video that I took, 5-minute video, the video file size was 22 gigabytes, but the frames captured is only 6,266.
What, did you do a small ROI or was it the full frame?
1304 by 976.
Which is much too high for Saturn. You need something like 400 by 300 probably.
Okay.
And then you get 100 frames a second or something like that, or more in fact.
I shall make a note of that.
And then you get loads more frames to pick from. Yeah, because this one is only 488 by 300, this ROI. That's, I'll cut it down to.
Mm-hmm.
So that this full frame, it would be that, but you're having to download all this black stuff around about it, you see,
Right, got you.
which is no good, right? You don't really need that.
Well, that'll give you something to do about 7:30 tomorrow night again.
Yeah. Just draw your ROI around it like that.
I was just quite amused there at the way you dismiss space as all that black stuff.
Well, it pretty much is, yeah. When you do such short exposures, there's not much in it.
The universe is just all that black stuff.
The odd hydrogen atom here and there, but that's about it.
Thought it was full of dark matter.
Yeah, but it's not showing up, is it?
But they're saying that some dark matter can be seen.
I suspect I won't be seeing it though.
The nearly dark matter.
I'm sure I've caught it with my camera here from the flat.
Clean your windows then.
Well, I cleaned the bathroom yesterday.
That's now gone live to YouTube and the world, Hugh.
Have to make a good impression, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, this is not the most exciting thing to watch, but it's almost there, and we'll sharpen it up and see what we've got. And then you can all go to
I
bed.
think this is bad just to see what's on the telly.
Is that you watching your last performance on X Factor, Neil?
No, there's no debate. No one was asking the question whether I had the X factor. There's lots of shaking heads.
Uh-huh. Well, now that you've seen me messing up Registrax and AutoStackit and Firecapture, you can go and watch the real videos that people know how to do it on YouTube. I'm just playing here.
That's pretty good.
I saw somebody posted up a video today in one of the Facebook groups about how to improve your imaging of planets. I haven't looked at it yet. I've just seen enough to know that it's 40 minutes long, so I'll tackle that when Carol's watching some rubbish on TV for an hour. I'll look at that.
Right, almost there.
Oh, that's looking better.
Yeah, the clouds have gone again. Let's see what AutoStackit is. Right, we're finished. So let's see what we've got. Try and sharpen that up. So you can get Olympus Mons a bit better. Got any facts about Olympus Mons, Alan?
Big. And it's a volcano.
Inactive, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah, where have we gone? Here we go.
It's one of the biggest Munros in the solar system.
Yeah.
I don't think Hector climbed that one.
You need good boots for it, that's for sure.
That's actually worse than the previous one, I think.
I take it the white trace on the darker side of Mars there is not cloud. You know, Mars cloud. I take it you're not seeing that at all.
You can see cloud. You can quite often see the North Polar hood, which is
right.
sort of a cloudy thing, and you can see some on the limbs quite often. It's possible. I'm afraid this one isn't as good as the last one, really.
There's a bit of a button for the South Polar Cap, isn't there?
That one there, yeah.
Yeah.
The last one was much better. If I bring up the one we did last time, rotated it. There's the South Polar Cap, and there's the Olympus Mons just about there. Oh,
Oh wow, that's better.
not very good. It's way over sharpened.
Definitely no canali.
I haven't seen any recently, no.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the Olympus Mons there, that white patch.
Can you pick up Mars's moon?
I saw someone on Facebook had done that today. It should be possible. I don't know if I doubt I could do that tonight, but we'd have to overexpose Mars quite considerably, I think, and then process it.
Yeah.
How far out is it?
I think it would be something like there,
Right.
or there maybe, something like that. So if we won't see it, I'm pretty sure we won't see it, but let's see what happens if we do. That one.
On Stellarium, it shows Phobos close in and Deimos further out.
How far out compared to the planetary width, does it tell you?
Oh gosh.
6,000 kilometers for Phobos.
What's that in terms of this planetary diameters?
Good question.
Oh, I'm reading distance from the sun. That's no use.
Sky Safari is showing Phobos about a bit less than a planetary diameter to the left of the planet, east of the planet as we look at it, and Phobos about 3 planetary diameters on the other side of the disk.
Yeah.
So as you're looking at it, Phobos would be at around the 11 o'clock position and about a moon diameter, a Mars diameter away.
Right,
around there, yeah.
Well, let's increase the exposure and see what we get, but I'd be surprised if we get it. You never know. What magnitude is it?
10.64.
I think we probably need to do a video and stack it, to be honest.
Yeah.
11.1.
Just too much gain, that. I think we need to try a bit harder to do it than that.
There was something when you had the full gain up at about 4 or 5 o'clock. May just be noise.
It's the hot pixels, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Just hot pixels, those, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool pixels. No, I can't see anything on that. We're getting less than a frame a second now. Let's keep increasing it, see what we get. Put exposures up. No.
How many pixels would the moon, its satellite fill?
Difficult. Don't know. That one. I've got a few hot pixels around, but not sure we have anything else. The fact that it's moving around such a lot,
yeah,
would spread it as well. But
both pretty small according to this. It says Deimos is about 7.5 miles in diameter, and Phobos is slightly bigger.
Yeah.
So they're pretty small.
Yeah, it's probably
Well,
sub-pixel.
Yeah. Well, you can actually pick up craters around about 3-4 miles on the moon, but that's a lot closer. So I'd imagine it's going to be a bit challenging on Mars, which is much further away. No, I suspect we're not going to get it. Oh,
So that's another challenge for the homework, is it?
absolutely, Hugh.
If anybody can do it, you can, Hugh.
That's the one. Full throttle.
Well, we did what we could with the scene. We got Olympus Mons there, little white patch. Not great, but it is. We have got a solar system volcano, so that's something.
It's quite distinct.
It is now.
Image. Yes.
Pretty noisy now, but you have to process it quite hard to get these things out sometimes. Okay, well, if you have better things to go to, like bed, then now's probably the time to do that. Than watching fuzz.
You can see that peninsula near the top, just to the left of your, yeah.
Yeah, what's that one?
No idea.
Phoenicis Lapis, something like that. Yeah. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1. Not a lot else to be seen. You can see the lighter patches there from that area. Over there.
You can't see Curiosity.
No, can't see the moons. I don't think we'll see Curiosity. What's that? Across. Okay, well, we'll maybe try I'll keep an eye out for better seeing, and we'll maybe try another one, and see if we can get something a bit better, because this is the worst seeing I've had over the last 3 or 4 weeks, sadly. So
Still good to get something, though.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Well done, Mark. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Joining in.
See everybody soon.
See you later. Bye.
Yep.
I'll let you know plan another one when I can. Okay, bye. Night.
Thanks.
Cheers then. Good night.
Happy birthday. Yep, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Good night.
Time for a grandma.